Welcome back to The Nation. We're staying with the issues facing our manufacturing sector. Our next guest is Kawerau Mayor Malcolm Campbell. His town lost at least 100 jobs this week after Norske Skog decided to halve its operations at the town's Tasman mill. Welcome to the program, Mayor. Thank you for coming into studio.
Thank you.
Stephen Joy suggested there was an inevitability about the job losses there this week.
Yes.
Could this crisis then have been averted? Should someone have seen this coming?
I think in defence of that, my council has known this for 10 years. We've lived, myself, I've lived there for 57 years, so I do know a little bit about the town and a little bit about the industry. That's why we committed ourselves in 2002 to economic development. For a small district council, that's a big ask, but it was inevitable that with IT and the way things were going, that we're in the pulp and paper industry, and newsprint was in decline.
So it wasn't a shock to lose the 100 jobs?
Well, it definitely hasn't been a shock. I mean, we've gone from 2,000 plus, actually, down to what we have got now, and we knew if they shut another machine down, which has been discussed for some time, that was a possibility, and they went to China and tried that market, and it was a no-go. So we knew that there would be some losses of jobs. Can I just put the record straight? 100 jobs are not necessarily out of Kawerau. That's not a good thing from an economic point of view for the Eastern Bay of Plenty. That concerns Mayor Bond and Whakatane, Mayor Forbes and Oporiki. But the reality of it is, and we don't know the numbers right now, Rachel, is that that's not all going to come from Kawerau.
You said they went to China and couldn't make a go of it. What do you mean by that?
Well, trying to go. When I say into China, I'm talking about Asia. Sorry, and if it's not viable, you pull out. They tried it, and it's not an economic viability. So. Okay,
so what do you do now? What do you do with an industry that's in decline? Do you just accept that is the reality?
Look, I've made no bones about it in our area that if we're still pumping out newsprint in 10 years' time, it's going to be a very good, it's going to be a bonus for us.
That's not likely, though, is it?
The possibility is quite likely that won't be going on, and that's why we've been working with Norske, SCA. We've got that secured now, and SCA are going to be there for the long haul, spending $60 million. Carter Holt Harvey. They've spent almost the same, in fact I think more, to get their boiler up and going, their new boiler, and get a resource consent for 35 years. So that's sort of keeps them going in the game for some time yet.
Places you in a bit of a waiting zone though, doesn't it?
Well, we're not waiting. We're getting up and working with the companies to sort of rectify the situation. Okay,
you have a town that's populated by people who essentially aren't work ready. I think you have the highest percentage of solo mums.
Yes.
One of the locals in that report earlier said most of the residents are on a benefit. You have the highest percentage of people with no qualifications.
True.
That's your biggest liability, isn't it? You don't have a work-ready workforce, even if all of these jobs are created.
You're totally right there. And going back 50 years ago, there was lots of promises from companies that set up the mill that there would be a job for life in Kawerau, but there's no such thing as forever. That's the reality of it all. And the other thing is that from a social impact, Kawerau has been dumped on for some time now, through young people from SEP's being dumped in Kawerau, and then the media has beat up on us a little bit, certainly not this media, but we're working very, very hard to try and rectify that. Schooling is an issue, and we've had some issues with our schools, and we've downsized that because we want to make it a lot more efficient. So that's what we're looking at.
So you've listed all these things that they don't make your town sound like an attractive place to move to if you're trying to attract more high-skilled people. How do you get people educated? How do you change the social dynamic of a town that's in trouble?
Sure. Well, education is the big one. That's the biggie right now, and I've been working up until this week with education. We've got a new school going in 2013 with a college, and that's been a bit of a roller coaster, I must say. They're closing down the intermediate, bringing year 7s into up to year 7 and 13, and there's a whole lot of emotion going on there. Whether that was handled right or wrong, that's not for me to say. I think I could have done it a little bit different, but that's, as I say, we're carrying on, and you can't let a little glitch like this in the system stop the big picture stuff.
How do you keep putting one foot in front of the other in a town like Kawerau, which has so many issues, so many negative elements to it? Tell me why you keep plugging away here.
Rachel, we should have the studio down in Kawerau today. You might have a different outlook on. I've come up here today, drove up this morning from Kawerau. They've got the Tall Blacks in Kawerau this morning. You know, there'll be thousands of people up there doing the positive stuff. Last week we had 10,000 people there at Woodskills. So there's lots and lots of positive stuff going on. And that's the sort of thing, you know, you have to come and have a look for yourself. And it's quite difficult for us to put that story across when on that clip, a lot of young people hanging around the streets. None of those people actually work at the mill, I might add. There are issues. We've never hidden those issues.
But you're proud of your town.
Most definitely. It's my town. I've lived there for 57 years, and I may die there. But it's, you know, we don't have lots of murders. I'd like to murder a few. But, I know I shouldn't say things like that, but I don't pull any punches. That's one thing I'm pretty well renowned for. You know, I've been the mayor for 11 years, and I've been in local government for 18 years. And I've just spent 2 days with Zone 2 meeting in Whakatane with all our local government people in Zone 2. It's an uphill battle for all local authorities right now. You know, we're getting beaten up a little bit on how inefficient we are. Well, I'll tell you what, come down to Kawerau, have a look. We don't have any debt. We have money in the bank. Okay. We've been managing the place prudently, but we do have some issues.
All right, very much appreciate your time this morning, Malcolm Campbell, Mayor of Kawerau.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lovely.